Hey. You see this? You see what we're about to discuss, okay? Real talk for 1 second. Hey, Tinny, listen, come, listen to me. What I'm about to talk about, I am 100% being legit. This isn't a meme. This isn't like Seungmin of Stray Kids rapped. Oh my god. This isn't like Jin of BTS rapped. Oh my god. No. This isn't a meme anymore. I talked about Seonghwa like 6 months ago, like, oh, here's it, he rapped in bouncy, here's his speed and everything. Ha ha ha, it's so funny, vocalist of Ateez. We're real talk this time. I just want to make sure I'm clear with that. This isn't a meme video, especially in the part about Seonghwa. I'm 100% being real, okay? So let's talk about Hongjoong, because we can't sleep on Hongjoong in the song MATZ. If you haven't heard this song, it's a B-side off of the new Ateez album with just the duo of Hongjoong and Seonghwa. They both wrote their own lyrics, so these are all authentic raps of their own. Hongjoong didn't write for Seonghwa, at least for my knowledge. But we're going to talk about their flows real quick and dive into these and what's actually cool, because a lot of people would ask about it, and I'm excited to talk about this. So here we go. So if you didn't know how this song is split up, there's the first verse, 8 bars Hongjoong, 8 bars Seonghwa. The second verse is 8 bars Seonghwa, then 8 bars Hongjoong. So they kind of split it 50-50. I would have preferred a 16-bar verse for each of them, but you know, I gotta take my blessings where they are. So we'll start off with Hongjoong's first verse. Pretty basic, okay? This is an extremely basic, stereotypical thing. You would hear Lisa do it often of Blackpink. Lots of just triplet heavy stuff. There's a whole bunch of examples. Changbin and Megaverse just did this, right? It's triplets. One of the basic flows of rapping, that and eighth notes. The cool part about his first verse is this bar 7 right here. He does this cool little thing of like an eighth note triplet mixed with a 16th double. So it would be like, that's the fast part, right? And it kind of comes off like it's just a full sextuplet twice, like, but that's a little too much. He definitely only does 5 syllables per each one. It's really cool hearing that spaced out and how smooth it is, that it just sounds like a smooth sextuplet. It's not choppy at all. It's very smooth, and that's kind of why that fast part is so impressive about Hongjoong. And if you haven't seen my short yet, this is Hongjoong's fastest rap verse now, by the way. But yeah, outside of that, in verse 1, he just transitions with this bar, which is a cool little transition of like 16ths into eighth note triplets, and then he transitions that into a more straight flow of 16ths with an eighth note spliced in every once in a while right here. So yeah, pretty simple first verse. It's just really the speed that's cool. However, the second verse of Hongjoong is where we really want to like focus our attention, because this is the really cool part. So as you can see, if you just look at like, you know, this part right here to that, it's a lot more streamlined. It looks a lot cleaner on the page. And while it looks cleaner, can be more fun to look at, it might be easier on your eyes, like, because this all just looks clean, like simple. But that's the thing, it's super simple. Verse 2, he gets super complex. Verse 2, he is now doing a 16th note bass. There is a triplet, but like there's not really too much triplet based flows. It's basically all 16th note based flows, right? Just 6 16th notes in a row, and it ends with an eighth note on the sixth one, right? Goes into an offbeat dotted eighth, back into that 16th note, 5 16th notes, all eighth, offbeat dotted eighth, and then back to finish, like a little sandwich just to start off that bar. But the cool thing is the end of bar 13 into bar 14 and bar 15, right? This, he kind of goes a bit wild in a way, because this starts off like a normal flow, right? And then he slowly transitions from just doing 16ths, goes into an offbeat 16th, offbeat eighth then, and then finishes with a weird 30-second note before the beat 4. So he's off beat right now, and he continues this theme with into bar 14, where he's doing this like clunky triplet almost, dotted 16, 16, dotted 16. So it's like the dots make it off beat, right? So the dotted 16 makes these two both off beat. So he's on beat, off beat, and he goes back on beat, off beat, on beat. And he finishes with this, all while doing a heavy cadence of a dotted eighth note. And I know I'm talking a lot of gibberish for a lot of people. So what I'll just say is he's being very chaotic, and it's really cool to hear. It's really cool to listen to, especially from bar 13 to 14. I'll just play like the hits and everything. Go check out. I have this lined up with the audio. Feel free to go check it out on my second channel. I'll link it in the pinned comments. But See, without hearing Hongjoong do the rap, just hearing the clicks, it feels very random. It feels very out of place. It feels like you're like, it's just random clicks. Compared to like here, this feels like a beat. It feels like a rhythm, right? Like you can feel that beat, right? But when he's in the second verse, he really takes you out of that comfort zone. He's really getting into the complexity of rapping. He's getting you out of that like comfort zone, which is really cool. And he slowly transitions it into the 6/8 feel triplet. Da, 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 da. It feels like he's speeding up. But the coolest thing is on the second triplet, he doesn't finish it. He ends up spacing it out. So it's da, 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 which it's like, you want that to continue to line up as it like feels like it's a 6/8 feel eighth note, right? Da, 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 da. You want that to finish like that, but he doesn't. He goes da, 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 da. Which is just a really fun little spice that he could have just simply gone da, 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 right? He could have just that, but he goes da, 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 da. Puts like a little emphasis on this by spacing it out a little more, which is really fun. And then these three and then these four ending are pretty much the same base of a flow. So that's what Hongjoong's doing. It's pretty cool, and I don't want the Seonghwa section to undermine how cool Hongjoong is. He's arguably the best rapper of 2023 in K-pop. I made the list a few months ago of like the best rappers in K-pop as of 2023. If we were to make a list just who had the best overall raps in 2023, Hongjoong has a really good case to be number one of the year. He had some insane stuff this year. So the vocalist of Ateez, Seonghwa. Now, I know he has a sub-rapper role, but he doesn't really rap with that. You know, it's kind of like Momo and Twice. It's like she has that sub-rapper role, but, you know, when does she ever rap besides like 3 times? When does Sana ever rap? She's a sub-rapper role. When does she ever rap? They don't, right? And it's kind of the same with Seonghwa. It's like, you know, he's had a handful of raps. He had Bouncy really was like the first main time, and then like 1 or 2 other like times where fans freak out. But he got a legit rap now that he wrote, and it's actually pretty cool. Now, this isn't better than what Hongjoong did. Hongjoong's flow is by far more difficult. But Seonghwa had some actual complexity to this flow that I would not have expected of a vocalist rapper that he wrote himself. So the main base of this flow is quarter note, right? Da, da, you're just hitting on the quarter notes, right? And he's using that deep voice to make it very powerful. Da, da, right? That's the main base. That's what he goes back to. And he's basically alternating in the first verse between triplets and an offbeat eighth note. So, for example, this first one's the offbeat eighth note, then the second one's triplets, and he goes back and forth until the end. He finally goes into a bit of a 16th and diddle. So, in the first part, da, 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 that's essentially the first half of his flow, and then he goes into a triplet, da, 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 right? And that's like the main part of this thing, the thing that starts it off and everything. And it's very, you know, feeling the vibe of the thing, like I talked about with Hongjoong in the first verse, right? You could feel the rhythm, you could feel it in his flow, right? Even if you don't know rhythm or anything, you feel that rhythm. It's very rhythm heavy, and you listen to the song, you hear that too. Same with Seonghwa's first verse. You still don't know rhythm because it's so quarter note strong. And then the second part of each of these bars just feel like it's a little spice, right? So you have like the main like flow, like that, yeah, spice, yeah, spice, yeah, spice. That's essentially what it's doing. But the cool thing is, like, you know, this like da 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 da. It's still like a slightly offbeat thing. It's not the most complex offbeat thing in the world, but, you know, I would never have expected that from Seonghwa. It has like, you know, 2 flows, has a flow change, kind of similar to Hongjoong. 1 flow here, and then transitions it here into the second flow, right? As a base. Seonghwa has the same pattern of just 2 flows with a flow change of here, kind of. The quarter notes mixing in the 16th. So that's the first verse. He kind of ends with some diddles, though, which is kind of cool. I enjoy me some diddles, but let's get into the second half of this, because the second half is also pretty cool. It's nothing like, again, it's nothing mind-blowing, but this is beyond, oh my god, singer rapping, haha, joke, Seonghwa's the main rapper. Like, no, he's actually doing stuff that other group main rappers don't do. That's the point. So, the second verse is kind of like a quarter note triplet, but it's not. Quarter note triplet would be da 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 da. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, super smooth, super easy all through here. And they're not the most common thing in the world, But that's not what he's doing. He's doing something even more rare. He's essentially doing dotted eighth note and then 2 offbeat eighth notes. He's doing an offbeat flow. Da, 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 da. So those like da-das are offbeat. They are slightly behind where you would expect them to be because this dot is placing them a 16th later than they should be, which making them a 16th farther behind, which is not basic rapper shit. But it sets it up to emphasize first note here each time, right? It sets it up to emphasize this. Which ends up being what he does. He does a little spicy thing in here, and yeah, it slowly transitions into a much more basic eighth note pattern of just like 5 eighth notes in a row, and then quarter note. I did not expect that from Seonghwa. I'll be completely honest. As much as I was memeing about it with like, oh my god, he raps so fast and bouncy, it was 6 syllables per second. He actually did such cool shit. Like, Ateez, please brag about Seonghwa, the best vocalist rapper in K-pop, like something like that. Please feel free, because that's totally like a legit claim right now, because this shit was pretty fire. So yeah, that's Ateez MATZ. Pretty damn cool flow, pretty damn cool rhythms, both from Hongjoong and Seonghwa. So take that as you will. And yeah, so thank you all for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. And before we go, I gotta do some Patreon shout outs, because I couldn't be making these videos without the people on Patreon supporting me, even though I'm very bad at keeping up with Patreon as I should. So the fact that they are still there supporting me I'm beyond grateful. So if you would like to join this list and get a shout out on every main video I do and see videos 12 hours early and get special reactions that I upload only to Patreon, please feel free to check it out for as little as $2 a month for VODs or $5 for the full access. So here we go. Shout out to Laura Fernandez, Pixel, Arston, Griffin Chiavo, Miyu's Ribbons, Sayway, Sophie, and Wookbook, as well as our CarKpop Plus peeps of Alina, Austin, Blaha, Caitlin Gervin, Eris, Arold, Farhan, Fleur, Hannah, Just a Penguin, Nova Light, Rai, and all of our VOD tier people, as well as the free tier people. I'm not forgetting you guys either. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!